Protecting your peace. What steals your peace, ladies and gentlemen? What's been stealing your peace? What's been taking you out of alignment with who you are, where you're going? Are you focused on this? Again, reason why we do this, y'all. If you change your thinking, you change your life. So there's some areas you got to change some of the thoughts you have in order for your life to change. One of these areas is about taking care of self, feeling peace. I know that's a word sometimes us in the hustle and bustle of life and all the things that we continue to do. It's not something that we often focus on. But are you doing things to protect your peace in order for us to get to our ideal life, to get to the life you don't need a break from? You have to have energy. You have to have energy to go after that life. So if things are constantly stealing your energy, taking your peace, taking away from you, how do you think you'll be able to now have the energy to go after that life that you don't need a break from? It's hard. So we have to be mindful about protecting our peace. We have to be mindful about making sure that we are taken care of. So, what steals your peace? Do you know? Do you know the things in your life that are taking your peace or why you don't feel that peaceful feeling often? They mentioned a couple things in here to pay attention to, but it says stop giving your energy to things that don't fuel you. Number one, stop giving your energy to things that don't fuel you. If you're constantly giving energy, but you are not taking, you're not receiving energy, you're not getting anything back, eventually you'll be depleted. You've all heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, it's true, right? Like if you give energy to things that don't fuel you, that don't give back to you, when do you give back to you? When do you get that return? When do you get that fuel? So maybe we have to stop the output of the amount of energy we're giving to things that don't fuel us. I know, harder, easier said than done, because most of these things are just responsibilities you have or would have major changes, major consequences, major right differences would happen if you stopped giving energy to some of these things. But it's just something for you to think about if you really want to get to your ideal life. If you really want to get there, these tough decisions that you might have to make of protecting your energy, of protecting your peace, of not giving it to people or things that don't fuel you is something to pay attention to. Choose peace over comfort. Choose peace over comfort. We know this. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Nothing grows inside of your comfort zone. So choosing peace over comfort, those two things are not the same. Sometimes we may think that, oh, I want to be comfortable means I have peace. No, no, no. Being in a comfortable place is the opposite, is the enemy of growth. It just means you're no longer growing. You're just in a place of kind of stagnation, of comfort. On the other side, peace, right? You have to choose courage. You have to, like it said, set boundaries. It takes courage to go after your peace. It takes courage to focus on you. Something I wrote down, it says setting boundaries is a sign of self-respect. Setting boundaries with how people should treat you, how people can talk to you, the amount of access people get to you, the amount of time people get with you. Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect. If you don't have boundaries, it's likely we need to go back working on respecting ourselves, valuing ourselves, feeling worthy ourselves. That's how we get there. A lot of people struggle with their boundaries. It's possibly because they struggle with themselves, their own self-respect. It's very easy for me to say no. It's very easy for me to say no to things because I value my time. I value myself. So I can say no very quickly. Doesn't bother me. But setting boundaries is a sign of self-respect. A couple other things I wrote down. Clarity creates peace. Clarity. Again, you're going to hear me say it over and over again, just so you can get it. How clear are you on where you're going? How clear are you on what's up ahead? How clear are you on the vision, on the mission, on what you're pursuing, on the man or woman God called you to be? How clear is that to you? How clear is that? And if it's not clear, when are we getting clear? If it's not clear, when are we getting clear? Because that's important. It creates peace. Trusting the process. Trust. Trust in God. Trust in yourself. Having a form of trust creates peace. If you think you're not where you need to be, if you think the good old times are behind you, if you don't understand that you're exactly where you need to be right now to receive everything that God has for you, if that's not your belief system, we have to start believing that. We have to start trusting this process. We have to start trusting that you are where you are for a reason and that everything that is coming to you, you're on the path to getting it. None of your experiences have been wasted. Nothing has been wasted. Do you believe that? Is that your belief? If that's not your belief, you will operate differently. If that's your belief, if that's something that you believe, then you know you're in the right place at the right time in your life. There's no regrets. Everything is working together for your good, right? Like this is a belief system. Creates peace. Lastly, I put let go. Let go. Let go of things. Surrender things. Mel Robbins just wrote a book called The Let Them Theory. Let them. And if you read the book, if you listen to the book, she basically talks about the fact that you can't control anything but yourself, your actions, and your attitude. What do we talk about all the time? That's all you can control. But relationships have such a big deal, right? Have such a huge impact in our lives that we have to learn how to deal with relationships well. We have to learn how to deal with people well. And one of the things she recommends is just saying, let them. It takes the onus off of you. Whatever you're trying to control in another person, through another person, with an organization, whatever, like just let them do what they're going to do. Let them have that. Let them win the argument. Just let them. And what that does is it gives you power to know that you own your emotions. You own how you view things. You own your actions. So if you just let them do whatever, you can control you. But you got to let go and you got to choose peace. You got to choose peace. That's important. And that's something, again, we don't always think about while we go through this path, while we're headed down this path of personal growth, personal development, of designing our ideal life. We focus a lot on other people, on other things that are outside of our control sometimes. And we forget about the things internally that we need to work on, the things within ourselves. In the text, the 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class, says the great ones are at peace with themselves. The great ones are at peace with themselves. Here's what it says in the text. It says amateur performers tend to believe peace of mind can be sought and captured. Professional performers know chasing after peace guarantees it will elude them. Peace, much like happiness, is an elusive state of mind reached only when performers have done everything within their power to achieve or accomplish a task or goal. The peace of mind experienced is an indirect result of knowing that all possible physical and mental resources have been exhausted in the process. Average performers are all too aware that they're not giving 100%, so peace of mind continues to elude them. Instead of increasing their efforts, they usually decide to employ a distraction of one form or another to avoid thinking about the half hearted efforts. The great ones are like old war horses. They keep coming back for more. Professional performers either win the game and experience the exhilaration of victory, or they suffer defeat with the peace of mind of knowing they did everything in their power to win. It's a winning proposition either way. The world class is at peace with themselves because they understand the laws of human nature. How you get to peace with yourself is to know that you've done the work, that you've exhausted the options, that you've given it 100%, that you've done what you know you set out to do from an action standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, right? From an effort standpoint, not from a result standpoint, not from what you have or what you've acquired. It's knowing that you gave this thing 100%. The things that you know to do, you do. And that over time allows you to have peace within yourself. Know you gave it 100%. Know you left nothing on the table. Know that you tried your best and right did all the things necessary to get to the clarity, the life that you said that you wanted, the man or woman that you wanted to become. That's how we get to that place, but it's through the work, y'all. I never want to take it away from that. It's through the work that gets you there. You want to get to this place of having peace within yourself. It's some of the things we heard in the video of creating boundaries, of getting clear, of staying present and not staying too much in the future or the past. These are tips, these are tools that you can use to help facilitate your peace. But at the end of the day, it's you knowing that you can rest easy knowing you gave it 100%. You didn't just arrive safely at death, right? Like it says in here. You didn't arrive safely there. You gave it 100% in your spiritual life, in your relationships, in your health, in your finances, right? With and any of the areas that you go after, you know you gave it 100%. Choosing peace over comfort. Remember, you don't want to have the only way we grow is getting out of our comfort zone. So again, you can't choose comfort and then think you'll still have peace and peace of mind and all of those things. You have to choose growth. You have to choose that path because that's what's going to strengthen you. That's what's going to build the character inside of you. That's what's going to help you have more self-esteem to know that it's possible, that you can do it. You're going to build your confidence by doing the work. So just know it's not a one day. It's not when you get there. It's the fact that you are working at this every day, one step closer to your goals, one step closer to your dreams, one step closer to the man or woman God called you to be. You got to trust the process, but you got to do the work. You guys know the thesis here, and I repeat it over and over again so it gets into your mind. If you change your thinking, you change your life. If you change how you think about your family, whatever's happening in your family changes. If you change how you think about your money, how you act with money and do things with money changes the outcome of it. How you think about your health will cause you to take different actions that will lead you to different outcomes that will improve your health. It's all about how you think about it. And if we're stuck in the way that we've always thought about things, you're going to likely get the same results over and over again. And so, one thing to encourage y'all on this last Friday of August, that some of the things that you should be working on, that we should be focusing on, that we should be going after are these internal things. How much, what level of peace are you experiencing on a daily basis? Is this an emotion that's familiar to you? Or is this an emotion that's foreign to you? Do you not know what it feels like to be at peace with oneself? If not, we got to get to work. It doesn't just fall on you, right? You have to get to work. You have to start this process of trusting yourself, of doing more things that are going to help you find and get to that place of peace, the clarity, the letting go, the choosing peace over comfort, making sure that you're growing, the staying in the present, the setting boundaries, the not giving your energy to things that are not refueling you and filling you back up. This is how you have to work your life, ladies and gentlemen. And when you do this, you'll watch parts of your life change. But we got to protect our peace. You've heard that saying. It's very cliche, and they said it a bunch in the video, but it's true. You have to protect that. You have to build a cocoon around your peace. And in order to do that, you have to focus on you. You have to know what you need. You have to eliminate things in your environment. You have to make some changes. I know we don't always like to change. I get it. We don't always like to change, but change is necessary for us to get to that ideal life. Here's what it says in this quote. It says the foundation of mental toughness is to always be at peace with yourself. The foundation of mental toughness, of going to the gym mentally, of handling all the things that life has to throw our way, is always being at peace with yourself, knowing that you're making the right decision, knowing that you trust yourself and you're trusting the process. Understand those things. The action step for today says ask these critical thinking questions. Am I at peace with myself? Ask yourself that question. Am I at peace with myself? 2, am I satisfied with who I am as a human being? 3, do I feel I'm enough just being who I am, or do I define myself by my successes and failures? Be honest with yourself and then make a commitment to bring more peace into your life. Remind yourself that you already have everything you need to be at peace with yourself. You were born with it, and your greatest successes and worst failures can't ever change this universal truth. Are you at peace with yourself? Are you satisfied with who you are as a human being? And do you feel like you're enough because of who you are? Or are you defining yourself by successes and failures? Remember, life is about who we're becoming, man or woman that we're becoming. And so, you keeping that top of mind, you being intentional every day about who you're becoming and the steps you need to take in order to become that person. That's how we make lasting change. That's how we start making some changes. And again, I gave you some things to go back and evaluate for the last 7, 8 months of this year. And we got some things that we need to add in over the next 4 months of this year for us to get to the life that we don't need a break from. But just know it's possible. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. If nobody tells you, I'm always tell you, people are counting on you to get this information. They're counting on you to win. They're counting on you to do the work. You don't know who's counting on you yet, but I promise you, people are counting on you. So you got to go off and make this thing happen. Do something this weekend that scares you. Do something that your future self thanks you for. Sit down, get some clarity around your goals. Go read something, go consume something that you've never consumed before, and start this process of really becoming the man or woman that God called you to be, y'all.